Hey everybody. I'm gonna do a demo here of a list in Python, perhaps with a little help with this assistant here in the video here. Hopefully not too distracting here. What we're gonna do here is I'm gonna demonstrate some of the basics of a list. This is one of two videos that we have for this week, and that will help you with assignment 8. And we'll kind of talk about that once I do the second. Once I finish this first one, in between the two videos, you should be equipped to make good progress on assignment 8. I'm going to do the work in the interpreter this time. I've demoed this on occasion, but this might be the first video where I've actually shown you that you can actually just use the interpreter, right? I can just go ahead and enter a Python statement and it will execute in the interpreter here. So we're going to play with lists, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to initialize a list. Okay, when I initialize a list, I just give it a variable name and I set an equal statement to it, and I just do an empty pair of square brackets. So now when I print the list, I get nothing, right? I want to add something to a list. You use what's called the append construct. And so if you look at once I enter the first parenthesis, it says append object to the end of the list, right? So I'm going to put the character A, and then I'm going to go ahead and append another character, and I'll do B, and I'll do one more, and I'll do C. So now if I print the list, let's see what we get. We get 3 characters here. Now, I would generally recommend you never print the list in your program. It's great for debugging purposes, but this output is generally not in a way that the user wants to see it. So you're going to want to process each list element independently and print. And the simplest way to do that is simply to use a loop. And we can just say for x in my list, print x. And then if I hit return again, I'm going to I'll end my indentation, and then I get my results A, B, and C. And there's a lot of ways you can modify this if you want to use the separation tags or other formatting or something to make sure they're all on the same line. You can do it that way. But as you can see, I print out each element individually here. The other thing that I want to mention is that there's this concept of an array in programming languages. Arrays are a fancy term for lists. And in Python, they're pretty much interchangeable. In some programming languages, they're not. But I have the ability to basically process my list just like it's an array. So I can print element 2, which is actually the third element of the list. Don't forget that generally in programming languages, things start at 0. And if I want to know how big my list is, I can use the len function call. I can assign a variable to it. Oops. That's a helpful error message, right? And then I can do this. I can do for I in range 3 or length my list, print my list of I. And this is using the array nomenclature. I forgot my parentheses again. My list, print my list. And there's my ABC there. Again, same results. This arms you with enough information to basically, if we go back to the assignment here, right? We've kind of talked about all 3 of these bullets here, creating the list, inputting the list, and displaying the list. You're going to need to use the knowledge from previous assignments on how you input information, how you display information, how you check, and so on. But now you're kind of armed to basically create these functions. The trickiness here of course, is how to print everything on a single line with the plus sign and the equal sign, and I'm not going to cover that here. The other thing that we need to talk about are functions. And so I'm going to create another quick demo here that we'll provide here at the same place that are going to show you kind of the basics of functions.